I am in the process of moving, so let's declutter and clean this very messy room that happened over the weekend. Everywhere.
I know, that's why we made a camper.
Gotta clean up this mess right here because the girls destroyed it in a day because they were playing tent. So they had a whole fort in here and they had a big tent. So we're gonna organize all of this. And I don't even know where to begin. Hi, I'm Yeli, and if you're new around here, I help you simplify your entire life because I feel like as moms, we deserve to have some type of peace around our homes. It was actually 3 years ago that I started decluttering and purging my entire life, but not just my life, not just my physical stuff, but everything in between. Calendar. I like to do it in a Zoom box, so I put all of the toys or stuff that doesn't belong in one room. That way I personally don't have to leave the room where I'm cleaning. And because I get distracted, you know, ADHD, so I have to be very mindful of staying in the same room to not get distracted. So all the things that don't really belong in the room, I put them in there. And once I'm done with the room, then I will take everything back where it belongs. It was in one of my lowest points of my life, dealing with postpartum depression, anxiety, and I had just been diagnosed with ADHD, that I decided to purge over 50% of our belongings. I realized that I needed to do something to take over my home, or my home was literally going to take over me. And one of those first steps was to declutter, to make things so much easier. I don't even know where to begin. By having less clutter, it has helped me be able to clean much faster because there's not so much tidying around the house. So here you have me tidying around first because the girls had made a huge mess. They had a lot of stuff in there. They literally brought half of the house inside their room. So my first step was to get all of the clutter out and use my doom box, as I mentioned before. I knew doom boxes have this negative connotation, but I honestly use this as a tool to help me clean around the house. That way I don't leave the room that I'm cleaning, and then I will be very mindful to try to put everything back where it belongs. So I am quite used to the mess and, you know, like just keeping it organized, and I felt like the kids' room, they were just having too much fun. So this is like the prime example of a room that is like too overwhelming for me, especially. So I've had to break it down into smaller sections. My first step was to clear out the bed, as you can see, and so that I can have more space to work. One of the things that I get asked a lot is if I let my kids help me around the house when it comes to decluttering and organizing the room. And in my opinion, I really think that is very important that they are involved in the process if they are age appropriate. And I think that that is very subjective depending on your own kid. I believe that you as a mom would be able to tell if your kid is ready to help you decide if they need something or they don't. So one of the first things that I try to be mindful of is to look at things that they are not using, they don't really show much interest in, any duplicate toys, broken toys, and then I will go from there. Yes, involving the kids in the process will actually slow us down a little bit, but maybe that is the whole point. They actually get to see the process and they become a little bit more mindful with their toys. I think it's very important that we explain to them what we're doing and why we're doing it, and we allow them to make decisions, because when they feel like they are making decisions and they feel involved, they feel like they're part of the process, and we're not just like in a way backstabbing them and letting go of their stuff, because ultimately they have that sense of ownership, and to them that is truly all they own. For us it's just another toy, but for them that's really seriously their whole childhood. Now, of course, if you know for a fact your kid is actually not gonna let go of anything and you just really need to move and, you know, like actually purge and get rid of things, just do it when they're taking a nap or maybe busy with something else, and then you move along. One of the biggest things when it comes to toys is that we have to remember that if we are overwhelmed with toys, chances are our kids are also overwhelmed. The more choices they have, the more struggle they have making decisions, so it takes their focus away and their creativity. So just keep that in mind as you are decluttering things that you are not just getting rid of things just for the aesthetic or how things look, but it's also more helpful for the kids. And then be mindful going forward on what you bring into their space in their home. To help me move along a little bit faster when it comes to decluttering and cleaning, such as this space that was quite busy and overwhelming for me personally, is I just focused on one thing at a time. So we started with the Dune box. We took all of the things that do not belong in the room, put them in that box, got them out, and then made space for me to just keep on working on it. After that, I started to focus on the decluttering, which I let go of things that the kids were not using, were not playing with. The broken toe is a duplicate, as I mentioned before. I personally love to use a timer. It just keeps me motivated and it just makes me move a little bit faster. So once we got everything out of that room that didn't belong, then we decluttered. Now it is time to focus on cleaning. I prefer to focus on one task at a time so that again, I don't get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and then I end up doing nothing, especially with ADHD. This just, like I said, it keeps me more motivated and just like ongoing. The most important thing though, when we are decluttering and organizing a space, is to be very mindful on how we function better. So if you know that doing section by section is going to help you more, or doing just 5 minutes at a time, or just one drawer at a time, please be mindful of that and take that under consideration as you are working in a project. Again, you don't have to do it all at once. If you only have 5 minutes a day, be mindful of that. And just like right now, just maybe focus on one drawer, and then you can do another drawer tomorrow for 5 minutes. And then move your way around. One of the most common mistakes that I see is that a lot of us have the all or nothing mentality, but I am here to remind you and to tell you that you do not have to do it all. Like I said, you gotta be very mindful of your time and your current season in life. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and although this was quite overwhelming and there was a lot going on, and I honestly was like, I don't even know where to start, at the same time, I didn't know which steps to take to make this less overwhelming for me. All in all, this actually took me 45 minutes total from beginning to end. Truthfully, I'm being quite more ruthless on this decluttering session because, like I said, we are in the process of moving in about a month. So I was just trying to get rid of as much as possible because we do not want to be taking the trash to the new place. That's a lot of trash. If you have made it this far, please leave any questions that you have and let me know. I am kind of new with this new YouTube stuff, longer videos. So tell me if you like me chatting with you a little bit more, or would you prefer more music, or how would you prefer things? I know for a fact that if I watch a video, I like to stay motivated as I'm also cleaning. So all of the feedback is very welcome at the moment. And again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this video encouraging and motivating, and let me know in the comments, what do you plan on decluttering next, or what are you struggling with the most when it comes to decluttering and just keeping up with your house in general. I know one of the biggest ones are toys and, the what ifs, what if I need it in the future, sentimental stuff, baby stuff. So let me know in the comments. I'll see you in my next video.